Hello, and welcome back. In this episode, we'll be taking one of those cheap LED tealight things, that's one of these, and we'll be using that to make something like this. So, some kind of brazier, or spell effect, or that kind of thing. And, as always, you can find a link to the PDF file for this little project down in the description. So, let's get started. Okay then, the first thing we're going to need to do is remove this plastic flame effect. Now, you might be able to just pull it free, or take the whole thing apart and remove it that way, but for this particular brand, I find that the easiest method is to just cut it away with a sharp knife. So I'll just turn that back on and make sure that I've not broken anything, and there you go. That's what we're aiming for. Next, we'll take this texture here and glue that to some cardboard, and then we'll cut that to size. Then we'll do a similar thing with the pentagon shape, but this time I like to just trim off one of the sides first, just so that I have something to hold on to for this next part, which is to take a hole punch and place the little white circle in the centre of one of the bottom holes, and punch out a circle in the middle of the piece. Then we can go ahead and cut away all of the other sides. And once that's done, we'll just need to glue this little pentagon on top of the large circle, so that we end up with the kind of thing that you can see here. Okay then, so with any luck, this should now fit on top of the tea light and allow the little LED to poke through, which it does. So all we'll need to do now is apply a thin ring of glue to fix the two together, and there you go. That's the first part finished. Now, for this next part, we'll take an empty toilet roll tube, cut it down the middle, and then make sure that one of the ends has a straight edge. Then we'll mark out a 1-inch wide strip, cut that to size, and square up both of the ends, but don't cut too much away, as we need to keep as much material as possible. Okay, next we'll measure out a line that's 4 7/8 of an inch from one end, and then we'll apply some glue to the smaller side of this line and glue the strip back into its tube shape, using that line as a guide for the overall circumference. Okay then, next we'll cut out one of the decorative strips, apply some glue to the back, and then take the end where the face is cut in half and push that end up against the edge of the cardboard, where the two pieces overlap. Then it's just a simple matter of wrapping the texture around the tube, and if everything has gone according to plan, the texture, it should line up reasonably well when it wraps back around upon itself. Right then, here's the two pieces that we just made, and one should fit neatly inside the other. I've actually tried this with 3 different brands of tea lights, and they've all turned out okay. Anyway, to hold them together, we can smear some hot glue around the outside of the tea light itself, and I used a little bit too much there, and when it's done, here's how it looks. And as you can see, that's the main part finished. Okay, now to add the flame, we're going to take a glue stick, and we're just going to carve one end into a rough point. Then, like you've probably seen on most of the other crafting channels, we can drag some hot glue up and down the point to simulate flames. And if you like, you can also use a toothpick to add some more texture, and just hold that in place until it dries. And as you can see, I personally like to do this a couple of times, just so that I have a reasonably large flame, but you could do it as many times as you like. Anyway, here's how this one looks, and when it's fully set, we can cut the flames from the end with a sharp knife. Now, for the final part of the assembly, you'll notice that the flame itself, it doesn't sit on top very well. So, all we're going to do is take the glue gun and press the very tip into the bottom of the flames, which remelts the hot glue and gives the whole thing a bit of a concave shape, and then just stick that down right on top of the little LED, and that's all there is to it. So if I just turn the light back on, there's the finished piece, and yeah, I think that's a pretty quick and easy way of adding some simple lighting effects to your table. Anyway, that's all I've got for this episode, so here's a picture of some of these pieces in action, and as always, I'd love to know what you think of these and what you might use them for. But for now, all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching. Feel free to come and join the Discord server if you want to chat or share pictures of some of the stuff you've built. But yeah, that's it for this one, so bye for now.